All right, so now I'm going to stand up and I'm going to do the same exact sequence just on our feet, which I think is actually a lot more powerful. You really feel, I mean, it's not any more important than doing the hands, but for me and for a lot of people, you can just feel the results even better with this one. So I'm going to stand and show you, but it's the same exact sequence. So first we're going to do a little assessment. Just place your ball down. Really important to, even when you get really savvy with this and you can like do it in your sleep, it's still really good to do a little mini assessment because getting that body awareness is really what helps you to progress. So go ahead and bring your feet, make them side by side, hip distance apart, look down, make sure that your toes are lined up and pointing straight ahead. From there, go ahead and close your eyes and just tune into your body sense. What you're going to do is you're going to begin to notice how your feet feel. Do they feel grounded? Do they feel evenly weighted on the floor? Do you feel like one part of your foot is more lifted or more weighted than another? Then take that awareness, go up the legs. Notice if your joints feel heavy or if they feel nice and light. So just notice in your ankle and your knee joint. It might feel like it's piecey or chunky. Ideally, you want to feel it nice and light and lifted. We'll do one side and then we'll see if you can feel the difference between the two. Last assessment, close your eyes, lift all 10 toes off the ground. Notice how your weight shifts. Take a nice deep breath in, bring all 10 toes back to the ground, and notice how you sway that time. Notice if it is a real big sway or just a small one, but what we're trying to do is find our autopilot, which is what protects and stabilizes us without our conscious awareness, our autonomic nervous system. So this just helps to tighten that up. Okay, enough said. We're going to take the ball and we're going to place it right smack dab in the middle of the foot. So I'm actually going to get a little closer here and see if we can just get a close-up of my foot for this. Okay, so you're going to place the ball right in the middle, in between your toes and your heel. You're going to softly let them sink down. Just let the toes weight into the ground. Keep this nice and light. Then you're going to take it and place it right in front of the heel. Again, let the toes sink down, take a nice deep breath in, keep it nice and light. Good, no pain. Then from there, we're going to begin our glide, just like in our hand one. We're going to put the toes down, and we're going to simply twist back and forth. The toes stay down, okay, on the ground. And I'm going to turn sideways here so you can see. And we're right in front of the heel, and we're just going back and forth. This is our glide. So again, consistent, tolerable pressure, absolutely no pain. Okay, then we're going to work that all the way down to the back of the heel. Okay, all the way down to the back of the heel. Again, keeping all the toes down, going back and forth, and then you kind of work it back up, zigzag it back up, right into that spot right in front of the heel. Then we do our shear. We tighten it, and we give it a little wiggle. Deeper compression, tolerable pressure. I always say this is kind of like squishing a bug onto the floor. And then the secret to that good compression is holding and waiting so we can get the fill effect, like the sponge filling up with fluid. And release. And then we rinse. So this is probably the trickiest thing coordination-wise. You're going to take the toe of the foot you're working on, the big ball joint, and you're going to simply rinse it over, catch it with the back heel, and notice how I'm kind of doing a pretend step, and then I rock it back. And again, I don't pull it back because I'm only rinsing one direction. Start on the second toe. Rinse it down, catch it, step, bring it back, okay? And there's a reason that we do the step. It helps to keep the hip from becoming fatigued, and it's just a better position for you. So again, rinse one direction all the way down, catch it, and then just kind of bring it back with your toes without rinsing back. One direction. Okay, And we're just keeping it that consistent pressure. We bring it back, and then we do our final friction, keeping it really light and loose. We're not really thinking about it. We may have to bend this knee a little bit for support. We may have to think of pulling up in the navel a little bit to kind of find our center of gravity. And we're just gonna friction, friction, friction all over. Feels really nice. And then release. I'm gonna come back side by side. Of course, you're staying the same direction the whole time. I just turned for the video. And just close your eyes for a moment and just notice. Of course, your foot's gonna feel different because you just rubbed it with the ball, but also just notice if that whole side of the leg feels different. Notice if your feet feel, the foot that you just did, if it feels more grounded and weighted into the floor. Notice if maybe that whole leg feels a little more seamless or lighter, so it doesn't feel like there's, you can feel those segmented joints, but a lighter feel. And then when you do the other side, then you're gonna go ahead and switch. Do your other foot. When you've done both feet, go ahead and check out your autopilot again by closing your eyes, taking a nice deep breath, lifting all 10 toes off the ground, nice deep breath in, putting all 10 toes down, and notice if that shift has changed, if it's less of a sway forward, and just notice if your feet feel more grounded and your whole lower body feels lighter. So the hand and foot treatment, really powerful stuff. That hand treatment is great to do before you are, if you have any arthritis or tenderness, or if you have any pain and tension in your shoulders and neck. Musicians, this is great, or anybody who does a lot of work with their hands, great thing to do. And the foot treatment, I mean, we are all on our feet. We're walking anytime before you work out, or just gonna be on your feet all day, or when you come home and your feet and legs are achy, give it a try. All right, thanks so much. Happy melting.